Let's talk about King Sombra, and how he became the villain we know him as. Cadence called Twilight to the Crystal Empire to get her help in exploring the secret chambers, because she knows how to open them. They go down to investigate if Sombra left something behind that could explain, well, him. And they are in luck. He wrote a journal, and it starts when he was found. The only word he remembered was Sombra, so that became the King of Monsters' name. He didn't have anything, he was a lost colt, so he was sent to the Chestnut Orphanage. He also went to school and had a lot to catch up on, having no memories of learning. But he was a quick study, and caught up, with the help of Miss Chestnut of course. But many ponies weren't so accepting, making fun of him for his accent and not having a cutie mark. Only one friend helped him through this, Radiant Hope, a quirky crystal filly who can speak to fairies. The two made an odd pair, but that's what made them such great friends. They didn't care what the others thought and just did their thing. They didn't fit in, but they fit together, even inventing games just for the two of them, with some janky rules, as kids do. And all year, they saved up all their money to in the end go to a special celebration to honor the Crystal Heart and its protector, Princess Amore. A beautiful spectacle. Sombra was amazed by the Crystal Heart, so much so that the two go see it in the castle immediately, look into it, and get shown their future as princess and monster. In that moment, the princess appears. She explains that the heart shows a reflection of what is in your own heart, but it's not set in stone. You can still control it. Sombra doesn't reveal what he saw to her, but she seems to know, which left him with a guilty conscience. That was not on his mind when Hope awoke him for the Crystal Fair. They are both incredibly excited and are about to head out, when suddenly, Sombra's legs gave out. He couldn't move. The doctors couldn't help, and it only worsened all day. Only Hope stayed with him while he was in terrible pain, promising to go with him next year. The next day, his sickness had magically disappeared, making him look forward to the next fair. But no luck. His sickness returned year after year, each more painful than the last, growing together with him and his desire. Until it broke out. He was transforming. Something dark was taking over. But Hope interfered. Her destiny showed itself, and she kept him stable with her magic, getting a cutie mark for healing in the process. A special moment for her that they shared. Everyone else joined in on the excitement, seeing her thrive in healing. So much so that she got a letter from the princess. To Sombra this only meant one thing. The future the Crystal Heart showed is true. She would become a princess, and he would be left behind to become a monster. He flees town in fear, running far away out to the Arctic wastes, when a mysterious voice calls out to him, confused that he is already here, with his job not done. He doesn't understand, which angers the voice. It claims to be his mother, enticing him with promise of knowledge about why he is so different. It tells him that he is a different creature, the opposite of the crystal ponies, an Umbrum, a being of pure shadow who have been long forgotten. This nature is why the Crystal Heart makes him sick. It's protecting the ponies against the Umbrum. But to help, the voice unlocks something in him, his dormant Umbrum powers. He knows now. He can use those powers and transforms himself, with one goal in mind, destroying the source of his pain, the Crystal Heart. It's his destiny, he has no choice. Not long after, he makes this move, taking the Crystal Heart, only to be interrupted by Princess Amore. She is there to help him, knowing what he is going through. She always knew, but he doesn't want her help. She let him suffer all those years despite knowing. And she will pay. She trusted in Sombra's potential, but now she paid with her life. She is turned to stone. This event removed all of his restraint, and even Hope appearing doesn't change anything. He will use the power of fear to repay everything they did to him. Hope doesn't understand and talks about fixing Amore with her healing magic, but that's not what Sombra intended. He wants revenge. She is in tears, trying to convince him to restore the princess, but he is too far gone. To make sure she doesn't come back, he scatters her across the world. He can't bring himself to destroy her completely, so the hope of restoration remains. But for now, he is the king of monsters. Hope flees away from her former friend, telling the princesses in hopes of help. Meanwhile, Sombra took over the empire. He knows he can't beat the princesses, but he knows what to do, creating a spell to shield them from them, making the empire, Radiant Hope's home, disappear for a millennium. This was the last entry before his banishment. The story made both princesses uncomfortable, but also feel for him and his fate. Not forgetting his crimes, of course. They are creeped out by the book and leave, not noticing Sombra's remnant that somehow got there, his horn. Long live the king. This is a setup for the Siege of the Crystal Empire storyline in the comics, and the start of the FIENDship is Magic comic series, a collection of 5 issues about MLP villain backstories, and honestly, some of the best stuff MLP ever made. Sombra's backstory was touched on in the Siege, but detailing it makes it even better. Radiant Hope and Princess Amore as new characters who you can't help but love, and with the context from the Siege, it's clear that this princess seems to be in some way related to Cadence, because of the same type of love magic. This is giving Sombra the character he deserves, past the senseless evil he was in the show. He was a normal pony at heart, but his species caused a corruption he could not escape from, which makes his reformation in the Siege even more fitting. This is also a good lesson about what bullying can do. Had the Crystal Ponies just accepted him, he wouldn't have resorted to these extreme measures. This what if is kinda explored in the Reflections comic, where he seems to have been accepted among the Cantaloupe ponies. Another thing is how the Crystal Heart has pained him. It makes him a troubled personality, forever destined to be held away from what he desires. For real, with all that he went through, it's surprising he didn't go evil sooner. I suppose we kinda credit that to Radiant Hope, the light in his life that kept him calm for so long, the only friend that accepted him for who he was, all weirdness included. And that's the best thing we can do, be ourselves and rely on the people who like us the way we are. But what about you? What do you think of Sombra after these revelations? What do you think of Princess Amore? Do you want to see videos on the other FIENDship is Magic comics? It doesn't matter if you do, I'll make them anyways. It's just a question of when. But until then, thanks for watching. Join my Discord and discuss some more. Thanks to my supporters, especially to Maverick, and until next time for the bonus, fellas, and bye.